she gives me a lot of time back. Time is definitely something that I guess we're all very wary of and whatnot. And I want to make sure that the little time that I do have left, is obviously being put into something that moves the needle.
Yeah.
Having an expert, I guess, like Jen in that social media space just really gives me confidence to move forward with running the business, and knowing that someone's got my back in that space as well, so I can continue kind of steer the ship.
So I'll get you to introduce yourself. So your name and your business.
Sure. My name is Lara. I own and operate Transcend Financial. We are a mortgage broking company based in Melbourne and recently Perth as well. And we help our clients with various financing needs, I guess. So
Yeah.
refinancing, home loans, and all residential loans.
Before you reached out to us, what were the problems or the problem that you were having that
Yeah.
you were hoping your VA could help solve for you?
I guess in this sort of day and age, I know social media is quite important in terms of, I guess, running a business. So that is something that, one, I had no experience with, two, I haven't got time with, and three, just not really knowing where to start, if I'm being completely honest. I know those things were something that was important, but I just wanted, I guess, guidance and someone who can be responsible to I guess, yeah, nurture our online presence. So
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
was hoping for, yeah, Jen to achieve.
And was there any specific reason that you were looking at offshore VA or anything like that, or just thought that might be a good sort of place to start exploring?
I've heard in the mortgage broking industry, we have, or even the financial industry, I know I have heard a lot of other businesses using offshore support, so in various different, I guess, capacity. So I knew that that was, I guess, an option, and I didn't really need someone. I didn't think I need someone full time just yet, because we are still scaling the business. So I thought having, I guess, offshore support would be a lot easier to manage those, I guess, the hours and things like that. So
100%. So did you have any like hesitations before starting with us, or before, like whether it was around social friends or whether it was just
yeah.
around like VAs in general before you decided to go ahead with us?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. In fact, I don't actually know if I mentioned that to you before. We had spoken to two other businesses actually that provide VA support before I spoke to you. And this was maybe a year before we even, sort of looked at it again this year. And it just didn't feel quite the right fit for us. There was a lot of questions, and obviously you hear a lot of not horror stories, but a lot of concerns from other business owners that we've spoken to. It's like, how do you manage them? How do you, keep them accountable? How do you, it's the investment that you're spending might not be worth what you're sort of getting. So I did have hesitation for sure, because I wasn't too sure how we'd be able to manage it. But
Yeah.
obviously, needless to say, that's not a concern anymore. I think it's the other way around. Jen's kind of going like, are you okay on the other side there?
So what do you think changed? Like, what do you think so far has, because you and Jen are still pretty early on in your partnership. So
Yeah.
for you, when you think about what you brought her on to support you with and how things are going in the business now, what do you feel like has changed so far?
I guess the biggest thing, if I was to boil it down, is definitely peace of mind. Jen particularly is someone who's very much accountable for one, and two, very much self-motivating. Even with the very little huddle that we do on a weekly basis, or even, if I miss a couple of huddle sessions, like, she knows what we're trying to achieve, and she would just do everything that she can to achieve that goal, and I guess support me, or get me to where I need to go without me having to kind of push her. She's great in that way.
What do you love most about working with Jen?
She's just very independent. She's accountable. She's very much a go-getter as well, in ways that, it's the thing with the VA is, I feel like what I've imagined before, it's like I'm having to tell her what she needs to do. With Jen, it's quite the opposite. She actually takes the mental load off of me, and lets me focus on the things that I actually know how to do, or enjoy doing, I should say. And she takes over her role completely in this space. Obviously, for us particularly, it was social media. She takes lead, which is, I guess, one of the biggest thing that really helped, take a lot of mental load off what I have to do, because there's so many things that you obviously have to consider.
Oh, so what do you feel like you have now after,
Yeah.
yeah, like what do you have now that was sort of missing before? What has having a team member like Jen brought to the business or to you?
She gives me a lot of time back. Time is definitely something that I guess we're all very wary of and whatnot. And I want to make sure that the little time that I do have left, is obviously being put into something that moves the needle.
Yeah.
Having an expert, I guess, like Jen in that social media space just really gives me confidence to move forward with running the business, and knowing that someone's got my back in that space as well, so I can continue kind of steer the ship. She's super valuable. I can't thank her enough.
What do you think has been like some of the biggest impacts on you personally and
Yeah,
professionally?
professionally, it's made a huge difference, I guess, to our business. We've got a lot more, I guess, online presence. I've noticed that it is something that's quite important and should be, I guess, prioritized.
Yeah.
Personally, it just makes me feel much more confident in running the business and scaling and doing all these things, because it is kind of motivating me to do more, I guess, knowing that you have the right people in your corner.
What would you say to somebody who's sitting on the fence about working with Social Friends VA?
I'd say this applies to basically anything in the decisions that I make. I guess the fear of like regret is, I think, bigger than the concern, and you're going to always have concerns regardless of if you hire a VA, a full-time person onshore, or anything else. So you might as well kind of give it a go. For me personally, obviously, it's been one of the really, really great business decision. It's been a great investment. Of course, you're going to pay for quality, and that's probably the point of difference, is the systems that you have in place, which obviously needs to be supported, right, with the infrastructure and whatnot. So it's well worth it. If you're sitting on the fence, I'd say give it a go. I don't think you'll be disappointed. So I highly recommend.